behavior by the government that is clearly wrong is accepted. And we've been comfortable and complicit in accepting that behavior. The thing that I want people to understand is if you even remove the black and brown people from the prison complex that exists in this country, you still would have a mass incarceration problem. We're talking about 2 million plus people incarcerated. And it's not just incarceration, they're incarcerated through policy, broken window, through stop and frisk, through the war on drugs, through poverty. Poverty is criminalized in this country. We live in a country where you have millions of people incarcerated, but right down the block we have Wall Street, one of the biggest crime scenes in the world. And repeatedly, black and brown men and women are incarcerated. So now we're living in a society where these people are shot and killed, the phenomenon that only affects them, and the national debate is whether or not police officers are justified, even when you have cameras. Even when you have police officers from Brooklyn who wear a video recorder and tape their own sergeant saying how they want them to go out and make arrests and have that the underlying feeling of this arrest are racist policies, and people still don't believe. The issue is not whether or not what's going on is wrong. We know it's wrong. However, as evolution in this country, we have not evolved very far. This is 2015. You still have the media covering black and Hispanic men who are dying by the hands of police officers. And that is the problem. And these people should be congratulated, they should be applauded, and there should be other things done. There should be neighborhood patrols that come together and organize to patrol their own neighborhoods. There should be other things going on regarding our schools, because this system, it just doesn't involve law enforcement. It involves politicians. These same politicians who ask for your vote, they make other underhanded deals when it's time to police your community and the policies that come to your community. There is the education system that's much more concerned about creating statistics for these young children than they are about educating them and creating critical thinkers. You have a private sector that is almost excommunicated men of color from participating in it. So at this juncture, hopefully the people like this will continue to raise their voices, to do what they feel is necessary to bring attention to something that is still occurring hundreds of years later. And if you look at the federal courts down there, there's still a federal death penalty statute. There's still the sentencing for crack cocaine is still different from pure cocaine. There's all these things that are in this system that encourages the police officers to do what they do and to support this. And if this is the only thing we can do, then we can do much more. And again, I congratulate all these people who take their time out to do this and bring attention to something that is way long overdue.
A rather large grouping of everyone who was arrested on Tuesday. So if everybody who's arrested, come up and join me. Yeah, freedom fighters!
Yes, power to the people!
Okay, first, I want to bring up and introduce Kimberly, who has a few words to share with you.
I was arrested on Tuesday for speaking up against what's wrong. We can't hear you. Speak closer to the
Louder, louder. There's no amplification.
I was arrested on Tuesday for speaking up for what's right, and I don't regret anything I did. It was amazing, and I'm happy to do it. And I will keep doing it until something changes.
That's good. Thank you. That should catch everybody.
Next, I want to bring up Aiden.
My name is Aiden. I was arrested on...
Louder.
My name is Aiden. I was arrested on Tuesday for peacefully protesting the systemic racism and institutionalized racism that affects people of color in this country. The fact that I was protesting the fact that people are being killed and unfairly incarcerated because of the color of their skin. And I do not regret what I did. I was doing the right thing. The cops said that they were arrested us for blocking off traffic. We were not blocking off traffic. Traffic had not stopped running on the bridge. But the cops, they blocked off all the traffic on the bridge and herded us up and arrested us. The cops, not us, they stopped the commuters. And they blamed it all on us.
Freedom fighter.
Freedom fighter.
Freedom fighter.
Freedom fighter.
Next, I want to bring up Jeremiah, another person who was arrested.
Yes!
Hey there, my name is Jeremiah. I was arrested on Tuesday. Let's see. I believe in peace, I believe in positive change, and that's why on Tuesday I decided to join the protest against police violence and brutality in this country. I believe that the police should protect and serve us, and I don't think that is what happened on Tuesday. On Tuesday we tried to demonstrate as a unit, as one large group of people, that we stand against police brutality and violence in this country, and the police did not protect or serve us on that day. What happened on Tuesday was that the police aggravated the protesters and then arrested them unnecessarily. There's lots of video you can find on YouTube. If you do your research, you can see how the police acted on Tuesday, and it was not very good conduct. The police should protect and serve us. They didn't do that. The protesters tried to move away from the police as much as they possibly could and tried to follow the directions as best they could, and were arrested anyway. As you can see from lots of video, there are lots of people who tried to keep people back from the police and make a gap. The police moved past that gap and took protesters away from the group. You can see this all happening. You just have to do the research. Don't let the media fool you. Don't listen to people who say, oh, there were 2 police officers hurt that day, and that's all that counts. Those police officers were injured in scuffles that they started. Those police officers were injured because they did not communicate. Yes. We stood up against police brutality yesterday. We stood up because it's unacceptable in 2015 in America for police to kill people. We stood up because we're against mass incarceration. We stood up, we fought, and we're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep fighting until there is peace and justice in America. Thank you.
Freedom fighters!
Next, I want to bring up someone who's been targeted repeatedly by the NYPD. Tuesday was the 5th case against him that's active of obstruction of government administration. What does obstruction of government administration mean? It means you're standing up for the people. It means you're standing up and demanding that the police stop murdering our people, that they stop mass incarcerating our people. Standing up and saying the truth about we need a revolution to get to a whole better world. I give you from the Revolution Club, Noche Diaz.
I am proud to be standing here with everyone who was part of retaking the offensive against police murder on April 14th. We will not just respond every time they get away with one of their crimes and one of their cops are allowed to walk free with murder. We are taking the streets and going on the offensive, building a movement that is aiming to put a stop once and for all so that never again do we have to rally and hold press conferences to talk about the lives that have been stolen, one after another, after another, after another. And everyone standing up here with me is a hero. Every one of us is a hero. They like to tell us that the cops who walk out there are heroes. Take a look at what they did. Pulling out a gun on protesters in front of a school bus with children inside. These are not heroes. These are murderers. That's right. And everyone in this city and across the country, in cities like Ferguson, in places like California, Oklahoma, and Ohio, and on, in Massachusetts, and in San Francisco, and on, we're part of standing up and saying we are back. And we are not going back to the days where all we did was light candles and cry every time they stole one of our people. Today, we stand up and we go on the offensive. And I am proud. I am proud to be with everyone here today. And I am proud to be here with all of you saying that these people have done more jail time than any one of the cops that have gotten away with murder over the last year after year after year. And they deserve to have every charge dropped against them, and all these killer cops should be locked up, and their commanding officers, and this whole system that gives them the green light needs to be replaced with something else.